On this channel, $1 Million Made Easy, we love to run numbers for people. And I develop spreadsheets to help number one, the young adult who is first starting out, number two, the middle aged person who's trying to do catch up investing, and finally, number three, the retiree who wants to know how much he can safely withdraw and have his money last. In other words, I've developed this channel to help most everyone. I'm not a financial advisor, just someone who loves numbers and wants to help people see the awesome power of compounding. This video I want to look at the third situation here. The retiree wants to know how much he can safely withdraw. And I recently ran across this scenario. It was a Forbes column. It says, what a 6% withdrawal rate could mean for your retirement. So we're going to go ahead and run with those numbers. At 6%, let's just say somebody has 1.2 million at retirement, 1.2 million, and they need 6,000 a month. Of course, we could use any figures. This comes out to a 6% withdrawal rate. So what we want to do is look at what the S&P 500 would have done over the last 100 years. We like to check the S&P 500 because there's 100 years worth of data, both in the depression type years, the bear market type years, and also the bull market type years, and just see how somebody might have survived over the last 100 years, given this scenario withdrawing 6%. We're going to go and update this for every single year beginning in 1924. We'll see how much money is left after 10, 20, and 30 years. We'll go ahead and run the numbers here. That's what we like to do on this channel, run numbers for people. So in this scenario, 5 times in the last 100 years, you would have run out of money. Given this scenario, here's the actual graph. 3 times during the Depression years, and a couple times around the year 2000. Every other scenario would be just fine. These amounts are like $5 million, folks, 10 million or whatever. So in most cases, you'd be just fine withdrawing 6%. The thing is, are you comfortable with possibly running out of money if we have depression type years or the year 2000? Let me show you that one where you run out of money because you start out with 3 down years. They call that the sequence of return risk. But one thing we haven't taken into account here is, do you really want to just take out 6,000 a month? Do you want to consider inflation, giving yourself a COLA to keep up inflation? Well, that's going to change the numbers. Right now, we have 5 times run out of money in 20 years, 5 times run out of money in 30 years in the last 100 years. We go to a 3% COLA to keep up with the historical inflation rate. What happens then? Now we have 12 times you actually run out of money, which might be a little bit more uncomfortable. More times during the Depression, more times around the year 2000. But one thing we haven't taken into account is you wouldn't leave all your money in the S&P 500 because when the market's going down, you don't want the money coming out of the S&P 500, knocking it down even farther. So we're going to go ahead and do a 70-30 asset split. That's what we do this channel, run all kinds of different scenarios. In other words, 70% stay in the S&P 500, but 30% going over here in the cash reserves. When the market's going down, the 72,000 is coming out of it instead of out of your S&P 500. Let's go ahead and update that now. Right now we've got 12 and 14. 12 times running out of money in 20, 14 times running out of money in 30. See how this 70-30 split works out. And still got 11 and 19. Here's the graph again, 11. This is the 20-year chart, by the way. Still got the Depression years. You still got the year 2000. What's something else we could do? How about doing just a 2% COLA? Seeing, again, this is with the 6% withdrawal, which is what the question was. Let's see if you just have a 2% COLA. That makes much difference. Well, then you're down to 7 and 10. So 7 times. Again, during the Depression years. Again, during the year 2000. Again, the Depression years were a long time ago, but I want to take into account every possible situation. But even in this scenario, with these 3 down years in 2000, 2002, and also this big drop in 2008 of 37%, we would be running out of money in this scenario. So just wanted to run the numbers with that scenario. They said, what would happen if you used a 6% withdrawal rate? Of course, on this channel, we love to recommend, again, I'm not a financial advisor, but we love to do the 4% rule. You do the 4% rule, the same kind of scenario, go back to the 3% COLA, 70-30 split. How many times you run out of money? 4% withdrawal? Right here, 1 time. We always run it in 1929. We run into issues because 1929 was so horrible. But that's why we like to see people stick closer to the 4% rule than the 6% rule. In this case scenario, you run out of money in 1929 only. The rest of the time, even the year 2000, you don't run out of money. So it seems the 4% rule is a much safer route to go. 6%, you can do it if you don't mind risking returns like the Depression years or returns like the year 2000 and 2002. That's what we do on this channel. We run numbers for people. Please consider subscribing to this channel. Please like the video. Please share the video. Let people know there's a channel out there that run numbers for them. And this is what we do right here. Just ask for 3 things to run numbers for you. Your beginning balance, your monthly contribution, or in this case, your monthly withdrawal rate if you're in the retirement stage, and your desired increase or COLA, and we'll go ahead and run the numbers for you. Thanks for watching the channel. Please consider subscribing, sharing, and liking these videos. Let other people know about this channel and like the video, and thanks for watching.